What's up, guys? I know it's been a very long time, over a year that I have vlogged. I did, I did put like 2 or 3 minute videos about certain things that have happened that I had to make some announcements. So I decided to post them on YouTube. But this video right now is part of Let's Talk Ants Season 2, Episode 18. Okay, I believe that the last episode was a studio tour of 2023 of all, at that particular time, the equipment that I had. And so there's a lot of changes that have happened between that video and now. So look out for studio tour 2024. I'm still getting used to saying 2024. And so I'm super excited because there's an array of updates that I am excited to share with you guys, but it has to be done, slowly but surely, and enough to make vlogs. So I don't want to share everything all at once. So one of the things that I did want to mention is that I got an espresso machine many months ago, and I love my espressos. So my wife had, she got a good deal on an espresso machine. I might vlog about that too. Very simple. This is just straight black. There's no sugar. There's nothing. But this helps me to get working, And this is my ARB covers. They're from the UK, and I use that sometimes as my coaster. Pretty cool. I've had this for a few years already. Pretty solid coasters. I've taken care of them. If you're interested about these covers, let me know. So today is about 2 pairs of headphones that I consistently use on the post-production sides of music production. So as many of you guys know, and I've mentioned before, that studio spaces, for the most part, they're never 100% acoustically treated. So I believe that 100% acoustic treated room is part of being, a room in a room. You know what I'm saying? I'm in, I'm in my basement in my house. So under the floor there's just earth. So we have the upstairs, and then we have another space over there, and then we have outside over there. But my wall over here is concrete, so but it's still, you still it's not 100%. And even though I have my Orlex treatment with some custom made panels that my best friend Josh had made, and he was kind enough to give them to me. So other than that, carpets on the floor and all that stuff, I'm able to control a lot of the sound, and no complaints with that. However, I am not a acoustic sound engineer, so I try my very best to catch the early reflections. I try my very best to capture the sounds back there, and so all in all of that together, with a lot of referencing of music coming through my system. I have a 2.1 at the moment, and I'm able to compare the references that I listen to on Apple Music, on that stuff, with productions that I'm currently working on, comparing them to see how the bottom end sounds and all that stuff. I don't do mixing sessions without hearing what I'm trying to aim at, without having a target. You get me? So if I'm working on an R&B track, I have a reference for that, whether it be an old R&B track that I'm trying to get the sound, and apply it to my mix, whether it be something modern, whether it be like a fusion type of music that I'm trying to imitate the foundation of the sound, which you can never imitate a sound because, things are recorded differently. And so I use these headphones that I'm about to present to you as it can be a 90% of the time, and then the other 10% I'm here. I'm listening back with my mix and with the references, and that's how I would end my mix. Definitely, I always end my mixes with the speakers, not with the headphone. The headphones are like the most important parts of the mix, where I make the best decision that I can make, according to my references, according to the notes, because a lot of the mixes that I do come with requirements. And so I'm consistently not only making music, but I'm also mixing it. And so when I get feedback or notes, it's for both sides. It's for music and for the mix. It could be for either or, not for the two. It could be for either or. I got the experience of knowing how to read the notes that people give me, and knowing what to leave alone and what to change. And so, in order to get to that part in the production, I always begin with the Slate VSX. Okay, so I've had the Slate VSX since it came out. I'm honestly months after it came out. So I got mine from Sweetwater. Nobody is sponsoring this video, so I'm just saying where I got it from. And so the technology in these headphones, they're brilliant. You can actually look them up. But basically these headphones take you into commercial studios where you can hear the sound of those mixing rooms, how they sound. It takes a while to get used to it. It's recommended to listen to a lot of the reference music that you listen to in these plugins that come with the headphone. Listen to the music that you always listen to, get accustomed to it, and then you begin working on your mix. Okay? It's not recommended to just start working on a mix without having references and just going in cold turkey, because it's not going to work out. So these are great. It comes with some cable. It comes with the headphone jack cable. Okay, the headphone jack cable, and it's a pretty cool material. I'm sure you can see it. Pretty cool material, and these cables are great. Now the body of these headphones right now. The body of these headphones is better than when it first came out. It's very sensitive material. So the more you use it, these things tend to break. However, it doesn't really matter, because their customer service is just fantastic. Okay. This is probably like my third or fourth pair already, because I mix so much. Due to working with directors and publishers and clients, I'm always in these headphones for the majority of the mixing session. So I've had one side always crack a little bit, and as soon as I see a crack, I will write to Slate Audio about the situation. They have a great customer service team that ships this out the same day. And it just takes maybe 1 or 2 days to get to your house. So check these out. These are great for anyone. You don't even have to have a studio, man. So if you have a laptop with your DAW, if you don't have speakers, screw the speakers. These will do it justice. These will do great for your mix. Now hear me out. This can also be heard as regular playback or whatever. I don't use these headphones for that, just because they're pretty pricey. They're like about $400, $500. They have two versions. They have like the bottom tier and then the top tier, and that's not because of the headphone. It's more because of the studio rooms that are available. So now they have two tiers, and you can do rent to own, I believe. So it's affordable that way if you don't have the lump sum cash or the credit to get it. That being said, I don't use this for pleasure at all. Okay, but it's great for mixing, especially if you don't have, a studio or a home studio. You just need a laptop and these pair of headphones, and then the headphones that I'm about to show you, you get those too. So basically, this is made just for mixing in my studio, nothing else. And sometimes I actually mix with this, forgetting that the plugin's on bypass, and it's amazing. Sometimes I'll be like, oh my god, I forgot to turn on the studio rooms, and then because I'm always going back and forth with the reference, it's actually pretty interesting how I got used to the sound, and then I just start mixing because I'm going back with the references back and forth, and it's pretty cool. So, regular playback without the plugins is pretty cool. And anyway, if you're into headphones, if you're picky with sounds, then you make that decision. It comes with a great case that you can travel with. And no, it doesn't have a little hanger here. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I highly recommend these. I've been using it for a few years now, okay? This is not a sponsor video at all. But this is what I use, okay? This is what I use. And I always put these right under my S1 system. And right there. Next part is this company is called Ollo Audio. Let me take out put that there for now. This is another pair of mixing headphones, but it doesn't have room emulation stuff, but it does have EQ curves from Dolby Atmos certified studios. Now, I'm not gonna get too much into specs because I'm gonna end up messing it up. So if you're interested after I present this to you, feel free to go to Ollo Studio. That's OLLO. And my apologies if I pronounce it wrong, but it's OlloAudio.com. Check them out. This is the S5. Let me make sure I say this right. S5X. My best friend also recommended these to me many times, and it wasn't until my responsibilities in post-production became a bit more heavy. So not only composing music now, but now sometimes having to do Atmos mixes, and my studio doesn't have an Atmos system. The most that I have is 2.1. I do plan to upgrade to quad in a few weeks or in a few months, just because I might have to deliver some quad music to avoid the center channel, to avoid the LFE, and then the Atmos stuff has to do with effects, Foley, and all that good stuff. And then if they choose to put music around there, they'll be able to do that because I'm going to send them stems. However, this right here has a plugin that has EQ curves in it. So you open it, and then you can take advantage of that. However, the EQ curve, the plugin that comes with this, isn't available as an AAX, meaning it's not available for Pro Tools. But the EQ curve, the plugin, is available in all other DAWs, I believe. Logic, I think Cubase, Studio One. But I might be wrong about that, but definitely not on Pro Tools at the moment. And I use Pro Tools. And I use this straight right in plug and here. This is great. It has a great flat response, meaning that I highly recommend mixing with your reference so that you can hear how your bottom end sounds, how your top end sounds, and you can compare what you mix. I'm definitely not the type that I could mix without having references. I don't consider myself a mixing engineer. I've done works already that I had to mix, so I get credited as a score mixer, but I call myself more of a music engineer, if anything, because I do a lot. So this is a tool that I use in the post-production when I'm mixing in Dolby Atmos binaural. I use these headphones. I don't use the VSX, I use these. So once I do stereo mixing with the VSX and everything is done, then I prepare the stems for Dolby Atmos, and then these puppies come out, okay? So, and then I also use my AirPod Max, which is not here, it's upstairs. I use my AirPod Max to hear how it sounds at the end as an end product. I love the AirPod Max as well because they kind of reveal certain things in them, because they have a bottom end. You can hear like bottom frequencies, how they sound. even though they're not, even though AirPod Maxes are not studio headphones, but they do reveal certain things, in my opinion, in my experience, where I've had to come back and do some high pass filtering on some tracks. You know, it's pretty amazing how these headphones just reveal certain things. But I highly recommend these. These are at the 400 something or 500 mark. These are the S5X. They also have S4, where they're meant more for the stereo mixing side of things. You also have to kind of get used to this, okay? Because since it's flat, and if you don't have like the audio mixing engineer experience where you can just hear stuff and you automatically can, you can say, hey, oh, this and that. Referencing is very important. I do that all the time, so you have to give yourself at least, minutes to half hour to an hour. Just listen to your favorite music, get accustomed to it, and then begin working in these. Highly recommend it. And it also comes with a nice rubbery feel cable. It's connected right now to my Apollo, with the technology being for the left and for the right. Now the difference with these from the S4, I've heard that it doesn't matter what side you use, I guess, for the left or right, but these does matter. These have to be plugged in according to their letters. So R with the right, L with the L, obviously. I don't have the S4, so I don't take my word on these things. I'm just telling you what I heard. So this and the VSX is what I use to work in mixing. I gotta put this back anyway. Let me just put this here. So the good thing about studio gear is that you can finance these things, but don't go cheap on headphones, because it really matters. If you get into music production nowadays, you know that you have to do a lot of the work. I have my best friend's a mixer. He is a mix engineer, a great mix engineer. My best friend Josh, and honestly, if I was to call him and say, hey, I need you to mix this for me, he'll do it. But the thing is with this work is that it's not a one mix and you're good to go. With my work, there's notes that come back, because there's particular criteria that we have to follow. So we get these notes, and so we follow the best that we can from music aspect to the mixing aspect, and then we get feedback. We most guarantee all the time we get one feedback. Even if we send the second version and that one gets approved, even if it's just a little thing, the mix is gonna have to get remixed again, because sometimes an element needs to be taken away and replaced with something else, and once that happens, it's not glued together anymore. So I really, really, really educate myself a lot in the mixing area, because I've already done a lot of work in 2023 with mixing my music and having to, deliver everything. A lot of the times I deliver the stems, mixed stems already, and sometimes there's a re-recording mixer that has to put everything together, and the film part in the audio post side. And sometimes in the modern recordings, I'm working alongside the artist, and my whole goal when I work is not mix. I mix for the record, but the client has the last say, So the artist has the last say, and I enjoy mixing for the artist as well, because it's fun to hear them excited and all good and gravy about that. There's times where I'll be like, listen, I'm gonna redo the mix again, and then I'll send it to you. But in order for me to do stuff confidently and know that I did a good job, is having the VSX, and having the Ollo audio, Ollo audio in my arsenal. So I highly recommend those two. There is, I'm gonna put a link, because I do work with Ollo Audio. They're not the sponsor of this video, but I do have a link code if you do decide to purchase any of their products, that you can put in the code and you get like some type of free package or something like that. And you could enjoy that benefit, okay? It also gives you, let me show you before I forget, Ollo Audio. Sorry, before I forget, they also give you an envelope with a Calibration certificate, and you can, you know, redeem your USC. So USC, I'm not really good with terms here right now, but it has to do with collaboration. So they give you this thing where you log in to your account, you use your code, and you get a USC. Now I'm gonna have to tell you guys what the heck that is. So let's check it out. I'm not gonna edit this video. This is gonna be straight raw. Okay, anyway, guys, check it out. USC, it has to do with a system within the headphone. It's a system within Ollo Audio. They actually made up the name that represents their technology, okay? So it has to do with the certificate where you download the collaboration software for your headphone that you purchase, okay? And that's actually part of your purchase. It's free, it's not no additional cost. And with my affiliate link, I do get a percentage from your purchase. So I just want to let you guys know. So if you enjoy my content, that is one of the beautiful ways you can support my career, is using my affiliate code when you purchase your stuff, so that you can help me continue forward in this journey. I will be sharing more stuff. If you're interested in certain topics about music, shoot me a comment below this video and I will promise you I will do it. Okay, so the more ideas I get, the more vlogs I can do each week. All right, thank you. And it's also the new year, so January 5th today, 2023. Happy New Year, guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the year, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.